But Christopher, let's talk about the game in itself. Chelsea started brilliantly, scored a brilliant goal, but from then on, Arsenal clearly were the better team.
You see, this is one reason why Frank Lampard should forget about the German boy, Karl Havertz.
Havertz.
Chelsea don't need him. You don't. To be honest with you, if you are Lampard and you watch this game, there should be no reason why you should go and spend in excess of 80, 90 million.
On another attacking
midfielder. Not at all. Because if you look at what Chelsea have got, they've got Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, Timo Werner, Giroud, Abraham, Barkley, Mason Mount, Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic. You don't need Karl Havertz. Because if you look at what is happening at the back of Chelsea, clearly they need to improve. Apart from right back, where the young man James looks very settled, and he's the man for the future. Chelsea needs to go and buy a left back, because in Alonso and Emerson, it is a non-starter. They don't deserve to be Chelsea defenders. Yeah. Maybe Alonso, per the tactics, maybe if we are going wing back, then he will benefit Chelsea. But full back, he's nobody at all. Look at the centre backs of Chelsea. None of them are up to the standard deserving to get this very good team to compete at the level they want to compete. The least said about Rudiger, the better. The least said about Azpilicueta, the better. Zuma needs to be guided. Unfortunately for Zuma, those who are supposed to bring their rich experience to bear in Azpilicueta and Rudiger are all over the place, in 6s and 7s. So what is happening to Zuma and Christensen is not their fault. Because the pressure of playing for Chelsea alone means that at a very young age, like Zuma and Christensen, inexperienced as they are, they need players to guide them. And those players, do you think if John Terry was still around, he would have done a decent job on Zuma and Christensen? He would have made them better players. Right. But look at Rudiger. He can't pass the ball, he can't tackle, he can't think right, he's always over the place showing, and he's got a very infectious disease that he's used to. He's given that to every player on the field. They are all lacking concentration anytime they see Rudiger there. And look at Azpilicueta too. Lots of mileage in his legs. And so Frank Lampard, look, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked because look, if you go and spend in excess of 80 million on Karl Havertz, which looked very likely, latest by Tuesday, Wednesday, for me, I expect the young man to be a Chelsea player. And I'll be looking at Lampard. Okay, so what next? Is he going to leave Azpilicueta and Rudiger and Alonso and Zuma and Christensen? You need to go and buy a goalkeeper. That 80 million, 90 million, you go and show Ajax 40 million, or even Burnley 40 million for Nick Pope. They will let go of him. You go to Italy, or you go anywhere else in the world, go and show 30, 35 million in this time of COVID for a very solid, rugged centre backs. Oh, goodness me. They'll just take the money and let go. And that will make Chelsea look better. Now, when you come to the game itself, once Kovacic got the first yellow card, the game was over for Chelsea. Because in Jorginho, we've come to see, or we've all realized that he's a complete liability. All he does is to pass the ball square.
That's all.
And Lampard talked about it in his post-game. He said there was a point where the Chelsea players were content with just passing the ball sideways. He didn't mention a name, but you could clearly tell which player was the most guilty of
because he will not win balls for you, and the least he can do is to go square. Unlike Kovacic, he was the only very purposeful defensive and attacking midfielder. What actually worsened the case was when Mason Mount also got himself booked. These two guys were to complement and make Jorginho a better player on the day. But look, on the part of Mikel Arteta, the tactics spot on. This is what they did. They had Nathan Niles playing as a wing back, in fact, on the left-hand side. And what he did was very simple. Make sure you occupy James. When you occupy James, it will free Aubameyang to have access to Nuno Aspilicueta. So the moment Maitland-Niles occupied James, who was standing in front of Aubameyang, Aspilicueta, lots of mileage, incredible, extremely conspicuous. So the moment the ball was hit, 1, 2, you see, Maitland-Niles took him for a ride. Aubameyang, second ride. The third ride, they shot Aspilicueta holding his hamstring and pulling Aubameyang all over the place. You don't do that. And that to me was brilliant on the part of Mikel Arteta. Because you realize that it is just after that Aubameyang third ride, which resulted in a penalty. The next Aubameyang move, then Aspilicueta, just after, then the thing showed up. And he was nowhere to be found. And if you are Frank Lampard and you are watching this, surely what you cannot afford to do, because look, Aspilicueta got injured yesterday, he'll be out for a minimum of 3 weeks. The season starts 6 weeks from now. So if you don't go and buy a centre back, you are going to bring a very injury-prone Aspilicueta back to the field. Chelsea
is going to be problematic.
Because look,
I mean, Christopher,
my last one, what you don't want to do, or what you should seek to avoid, well, go back to post-COVID. All Chelsea games that they have won, or 85% of the games they've won, they needed to score 2 or more goals to win.
That's true.
And you cannot compete. That becomes the norm. So Lampard should look at this Chelsea team holistically and find an antidote to their problem. I have given him free consultation. Buy a new goalkeeper. Don't spend 80 excess million on Havertz. You don't need him.
A goalkeeper, a left back, a centre back.
That's it. And Chelsea will compete for the title.
Okay. No. I mean, I'm not sure what the Chelsea fans think, but Christopher is giving a very interesting diagnosis of your team. So let me know. 0550585832 +233 55058583.
But today, at the end of the program, I will demonstrate how Aspilicueta. Damn, man. I'll demonstrate.